What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Ignorant Money Club. For anybody who doesn't know, Ignorant Money Club is here to pretty much wake you the f up. Like, it's a lot of black people out here that when it comes to finances, like, I don't know what planet y'all live on. Like, a lot of y'all just out here, quote unquote, living your best life, and it's getting ridiculous because the wealth gap is growing and we're getting to a point where, you know, it's not pretty anymore, you know, to pretty much be like the worker bees of this country, you know, while every other ethnicity consistently works together and build and passes on wealth from generation to generation. We're out here trying to do everything by ourselves and not being on the top technology and allowing, like, you know, for example, you go to a beauty salon store, and I've seen a lot of them, especially in the hood. You go to a beauty salon store, and what does a, you know, Asian American or a person from Asia or Korea know about weave that we wear? But yet they own the stores and we pretty much patronize them. So I think that's ridiculous. Even down to like restaurants, like we got more Chinese spots in the hood and liquor stores owned by like Indians and Patels and stuff like that than we have like soul food restaurants. But anyways, not gonna harp on that. So before we jump too deep into this video, remember to smash up that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that alert bell so that when we pretty much drop new content, you'll be the first one to get it. Anyways, back to the content. So what I want to talk to you all today about is how easy it is to make your next million once you make that initial million, or just how millionaires make more money over time, and it's easier and easier. So let's just give an example. A common person makes $50,000 a year. Let's just say that's average or something like that. And they, after bills and expenses, they may only have like $5,000 to invest throughout the entire year. That $5,000 only has so much buying power. So if I take $5,000 and try to buy, you know, a stock such as Apple, that isn't really going to take me that far in the short term, because Apple is like, what, today, $400 or $500 a share. But if I have, you know, if I have $1 million and I buy, you know, a $500 share of Apple, how many shares of Apple can I get with $1 million? Now, all Apple would have to do is go up another $50 to $100, and I can pretty much make a couple of probably tens of thousands of dollars in that short period of time, versus if I only invested that $5,000, and you know, that would allot me to make what, $10, $50 in a short period of time if Apple went up. So that's the whole thing about money. I've even noticed it as time went on. You invest a smaller amount, that's the gain you can expect to get, unless you find like a hidden gem. Now, it's been times in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, like if you would have invested $150 in Bitcoin, $100 in Bitcoin when it first came out, you would be a multi-millionaire today. But you got to really look for those super gems. Outside of that, you got to be capital heavy to really make this money move. Like, I was talking to a guy in a stock Twitch group today, and he was just telling me like how he almost made $1 million today. But guess what? He's working with like $2 or $3 million. He's trading with like $2 or $3 million. So if he took and jumped into a stock that's $100 and he has $2 million worth of that stock, then it's like that will turn to another $500,000 or $1 million way quicker. So what I want you all to get out of this video is think about how much money you want to make when you go into each position, and that is going to be the determinant of how much you need to invest. I used to be scary and say, oh man, no, I only want to invest, you know, $1,000, $2,000, that's what I feel safe with. But guess what? My reward was just as great as my risk tolerance. And I got to the point where my risk tolerance got higher. And that's another thing. when rich people, they can afford to lose a lot more, essentially, because if I make $1 million or I have a net worth of $1 million, it takes me nothing. I'll take 10,000, 20,000 and throw it into a stock. That's like $1,000, $2,000 to me. I'll throw it into a stock way quicker than a person who just makes $50,000 or $100,000 a year. They can't just throw 20% of their entire income into a stock. So that's super huge, just having that money and that capital, that high bracket capital, to be able to put inside of any type of stock or any type of asset. So just keep that in mind as you start to invest. You know, if you want to make this money, sometimes you gotta be risky. It was a meme that I read today, or it was another day, and it went something of the lines of, you want to be balling, then you have to be all in. And that makes a lot of sense, because it's like, you can't just sit here and just spread yourself thin so much. Eventually you have to find something that is going to be that thing, and you have to go all in. Like you have to put a significant portion of your wealth in it to be able to make tons of money. Like, I know people, or I don't know people, but I've read about people who have mortgaged their home, took out all these loans, did all this stuff, put it in cryptocurrency, and next thing you know, that, you know, they lucked up and they became multimillionaire off of doing that. But if they would have just been conservative and put a little bit of their money inside of it, they probably wouldn't have had the chances of being able to accumulate that type of wealth. So once again, whatever you choose to invest in, make sure you always believe in that investment, so that throughout the hard times and times where you think that this project or this business, this company is going to fail, you still hold on to it. And then outside of that, just think about how much money you put into a certain asset, because generally that's how much your reward is going to be in turn. So you're not going to become a millionaire by putting $25 in Tesla. I'm sorry, you're going to have to do a lot better than that. And the more money you have, the more capital you have to work with. Not saying go out there and borrow margin, but the more capital you have to work with, the more potential for you to invest that larger amount of capital and multiply your money a lot quicker than someone with a smaller amount of capital. So that's all I want to talk to y'all about today. Don't forget, smash up that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back to you with more content. Thanks, and you all have a great day.